Hey everybody, I'm back. It is the Thursday update. I am Marina Martinez-Bateman and I am the CEO of New Coyote Consulting, and we are coming to you from our office couch. I went and bought some pillows for the office couch. It's so cute in here, you guys. Like, I love it in here. I'm so stoked about this couch, and just, I didn't really think I ever needed like a couch, but I just like being able to just like, when I have to like think about something, have someplace like nice and soft and like inviting with like warm, pretty pillows to like hang out on and just lounge on and look out the window. The window's like right there, and I can see the beautiful blue sky and the trees and everything. But that's not why you're here to talk about my couch. We are here to talk about my intentions for the week. So on Monday, I set the intention that I wanted to work on having minimums and maximums in my business. So things I do a minimum, pardon me, of times throughout the day or the week, the month, the quarter, the year, etc. And then maximums. Things I do, I have a maximum amount of times I do those every day, week, etc. I wanted to have them in my planner, and I wanted to have the framework ready for use next week. That could still potentially happen. I'm still sort of circling a couple of those minimums and maximums. I really wanted to come at this from a place of visioning first. I wanted to envision the kind of life, the kind of professional life I want, which I've been doing a lot of that, but I think it's important to reiterate it, especially in a body-led business, especially in a conscientious business where I'm really actively going against things that were ingrained in me for my whole life sometimes. Like, I was talking to somebody today and I was like, I haven't had this much time on my hands since before I started kindergarten. Like, I never worked less than 10 hours a day. Like, even as a kid, I was in school, and then I was in all these extracurriculars, and then I was in this and that, and I was volunteering, and then I started working early. And then all throughout my working life, I either had a job that took up all of my time and wanted a bunch of free mandatory overtime, or I was always on a side hustle. Which, side note, your side hustle is your hustle. Like, that's, we denigrate the side hustle in our culture, and that's just another clue that capitalism is garbage. Anyway, that was a rant. What I'm saying is, I am doing something radically different than how I was raised to work. I am doing something radically different than how we consider work to be effective and productive in this culture, which for me means constantly visioning, because I don't see what I want in the world. I have to maintain it up here. I have to keep it alive in my brain and in my spirit. So starting from a place of visioning, focusing on what I want. I know I'm wearing the same shirt as I wore on Monday. It's because this thing is basically a giant t-shirt, but it looks kind of profesh. I love it. That was another aside. Let's focus. I want these minimums and maximums to support the vision I have, not just today and what I have today, the tools I have today, but in the future. So I'm focusing on minimums. Like, I've got some pretty clear minimums that I already have been practicing. I have minimum times that I'm supposed to eat throughout the day, and minimum hours that I'm supposed to go, maximum hours that I'm supposed to go between meals. I'm not supposed to go more than 4 hours without having some food, that's not a rule for everyone. That's just a rule for me. Want to be clear. But I also have, I want to get back into moving my body around. So I want minimums on body movement, not necessarily the type of movement, because sometimes I'll do a bunch of tidying or cleaning or rearranging furniture and stuff. And in the past, I wouldn't consider that body movement, and then I would be confused as to why I was tired or whatever. I also want maximums on the things that drain me. And the things that drain me are email, business administration, sales. Fuck, I hate sales. I'm good at it. I'm really good at it, and I've always exceeded in sales roles in the past, but I just dislike it. That's not how people should talk. It doesn't make sense. It's not natural communication to me, and so it's hard, even though I've trained myself and I'm good at it. And also actively, in this business particularly, because it's so body-led, I have really found, and we have clear data on it now after a year and a half, the more time I spend on capital S sales, the less money I make. The more time I spend on being me and doing what drives me, the more money I make. So the way that I've structured this business is kind of resistant to sales, which I think if I were trying to sell it would be a problem. But because it's me and it's because it's how I operate in here and because I'm building this thing for me, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I just go be myself and money comes in, and that's what I wanted. It's a thing I didn't think could happen, and it is a thing that consistently does happen to me in this business, and it's a blessing. But so doing minimum on sales, doing minimum on jobs that don't fit the vision, and only having certain circumstances where I take on a job that doesn't fit the vision, having qualifiers, doing a minimum of teaching and workshops, which for me is 2 a week. That may seem like a lot for some people. That may seem like not very much at all for others. Right now, I love teaching and doing workshops, and it takes my whole brain, because every workshop I give is basically 100% tailored to the people in that workshop, and we don't know who they are until they get there, right? So doing that kind of facilitating and labor, especially on Zoom, it's got to be 2 a week for me, workshops. I'm also thinking about, in terms of sales being draining to me, doing having a decision where I only do so much sales per month, and just seeing what happens. And by sales, I mean like pitching. I've already also decided on a maximum limit of how many proposals I send out, because those can be very, you write this whole thing, right? And you do the proposal. And if you don't get anything back, or if it doesn't work out, it can feel very sad. I can feel very sad. So I'm limiting my proposals to 2 proposals a week. And that's for everything: speaking, training, jobs, clients, everything. That's going to free up my schedule to do a lot more of what I like to do, which is doing this kind of stuff and going out and talking to people and just showing up in the world, like showing up for my friends and doing learning and all these other things. I'm also only going to take 1 class at a time, because as I have discussed, taking 3 classes at once right now is way too much. But, being able to show up for people, that's really what I like to do. That's what works for me. So doing more of that, making time for more of that. That's how I did this week. I've got a framework. It's not written down in one place. It's written down in a bunch of different places, but it's, as you can see, it's coalescing in my head. Also, cap on email. I am not going to spend more than 2 hours on email in any given day. And that's, I can do that right now because, and I can do that in the future because I'm not the only person that checks my email here. So Kate, who works with me, checks my email and helps maintain that. So if you hate email, like I hate email. You don't have to check your own email. I don't know if you knew this. You don't have to check your own email. Somebody else can check your email for you and help you with that. So just be aware that that's an option. All right, everybody, how did you do on your intentions? Put them below. Have a weekend. I'll see you on Monday.